So, we're coming up on the new year. First off, if you're watching this on or after the 1st, Happy New Year! If you're watching this before the 1st, Happy upcoming New Year! Since we're heading into 2024, I wanted to do something, that was a sort of a bit of a retrospective on 2023, as well as talk about goals and intentions going forward. First, though, let's talk about the art. The art in the background of this particular video is one last viewing of the art from my December mail club. This print was really fun to do, and I'm still so happy with it. The theme was holiday, and I used characters from my project Trace. In the print are the lovers, Kier and Arlo, and the stickers were characters from the more modern story portion of it, which were Hazel, Hawthorne, and Clover, as chibis holding Christmas lights. I got the idea for that, and it was too cute for me to pass up, and I really liked the concept. So we're in the last couple days of availability for these designs, so if you're interested, head over to my Patreon and check it out. After the 1st of the month in January, there will be new ones going up, and I am very excited for it, and for the stickers for that one. And now back to the video. So, 2023. Honestly, for me, it's been a roller coaster of a year, especially in the last half of it. Towards the end of 2022, through January and the first half of February, I fell off of posting for a bit. Some quick context, I've mentioned a few times that I lost my grandfather not too long ago, and that's a large part of why I fell off of making content, because the anniversary of his passing is right at New Year's. It hits me hard, and since last year made just the 1 year mark, I fell off of creating at all. When I came back in February, I just don't think I was ready. I made 3 videos and then fell off of the internet again. And a lot went on between then and me coming back. My partner had a procedure and then got really sick when her gallbladder went bad afterwards. And that was hard because, I was making sure that she was okay after her procedure, and then taking care of her for that month that she was sick before she got her gallbladder out. And then, she had to have her gallbladder out, and that's another surgery, which she bounced back really fast. Thank goodness, because that made me happy. But at the same time, on top of that, work had me exhausted and burnt out and miserable. And I was stressed. Still am by work, but it's way better than it was. And everything just made it hard, especially since I wanted to create, but it was like every time I sat down to create, it was like just a mental block was there, and it wasn't going away anytime soon. And then, when I came back in July, I used my experience with burnout and not wanting to draw as my first 2 video topics. And on the second one, I was surprised to see that I got a good few more views than usual, and even a few comments. That absolutely floored me. To give a little bit of context on that, I had been posting for a while with obviously a lot of breaks where I fell off, and I had never gotten that much attention on my stuff, that many eyes on my stuff. It was so different, and it made me excited. I think now that second one is at like 200 views, and it makes me so happy because I was lucky to get double digits in views on my content before, which now I've come to realize people do like my talkie videos more than just the speed paints, which I think is part of it. However, it still seemed like it got more attention than I was used to, even when I would do talkie videos. And that was exciting. And then I posted the video about my worst commission ever. And everything exploded. Suddenly, I was getting a lot of views and gaining subscribers, and every time I looked at my phone, I had a new comment or a notification about a subscriber Or I would notice that the views on the video had gone up rapidly. And it absolutely threw me off. I was confused. Nothing I did had ever gotten attention like that. I'm assuming it just hit the algorithm right. I don't know what happened, but that video is still getting views and comments. I think it's got like almost 200 comments at this point, or like 100, somewhere between 150 to 200. And I do not to this day understand what happened. And then I had people going back and watching my previous videos because they found it and were like, how do you not have more subscribers? And I'm still confused because I just assume, I don't know, my art just isn't for everybody. My voice probably is not for everybody, especially with my heavy accent. To me, it doesn't seem as heavy as it actually is, largely because where I live, there are plenty of people with much heavier accents. However, it's still there, and I know some people are not big on that, and I think that's part of why. But honestly, that video now has over 9,600 views. I think that's the most views I've ever had on anything. I went back and I looked to double check while I was scripting this, and it still just stuns me. And then within a month or a little over a month, I went from around 150 subs. I cannot for the life of me remember if it was 145 or 154. My brain keeps flipping the 4 and 5. So I'm just going to round it out and say smack in the middle, 150. I went from around 150 subs in a month to 500. It threw me off so bad. And I can tell you right now, I cried more than once because that was just amazing to me. I was completely used to posting and it just going into the void and nobody caring, and like it was just disappearing into the ether and nobody ever paid any attention to it. And suddenly things were different. I will say, of course, predictably, the explosive growth was short-lived, but I expected that. I knew that that wasn't going to last. What I did not expect at all was it slowing to a slow but steady growth. And like I said, I had sat at around 150 for a long time, probably over a year before all of this. And the explosive growth, that sudden increase that came out of nowhere, that was stunning. But to be completely frank, the consistent and steady increase that I've had after that calmed down, that was even more of a shock. I have a good few days now where I don't get any subscribers. That doesn't matter. Like, I'll glance at them just like, oh, okay, whatever. Or I'll lose a couple or whatever because people fall off being interested in things. Older accounts that have been subbed for a while get scrubbed as completely inactive, all that. But the fact that it kept going was what really threw me. And then in August, I suddenly had 2 patrons. I think it was towards the end of August, early September. I suddenly had 2 patrons on Patreon. I think at the time, I wasn't even putting my Patreon link back in my videos anymore. I think it was still on my channel page, but I don't think I was putting it on there on my videos. I may have in 1 or 2 just because I forgot to take the link out. But I didn't expect anybody to go look at my Patreon because at the time I was not posting regularly because, again, I was posting into the void. Nobody cared. Nobody was paying attention. But that honestly made everything feel suddenly real. And it was really exciting. And I think that was what really kicked me into gear. I started posting, and it's still very sporadic. I need to get better at it and start an actual schedule and post more often on Patreon. But I started posting when I hadn't been in ages. I also started planning a Patreon revamp, even that early on. And now I have a Patreon mail club going. And I did the first month in December. And that was exciting to have that opportunity to even do. Because I have people who are interested in my art. And that's extremely validating. But I have a Patreon mail club going now and 2 patrons. And just a couple days ago, I reached 700 subscribers before the end of the year. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional, but it's just, I never expected things to go like this. I never expected things to go like this, and I'm so stunned and grateful that we've gotten to this point, and I really can't wait to see what happens going forward. Because, and let me be a little bit, raw and emotional for a second. Because I feel like this needs said. I had been going through so much. So much. Earlier this year. And it's still an uphill battle with it. Because I do have some struggles emotionally. Just about everybody does. Most people have some form of something going on with their mental. But I had been struggling with so much. And feeling like nobody cared in regard to, my creative person. Nobody cared about any of that. And that I wasn't going to ever get a chance to do things that I wanted to do artistically. And now things are starting to look up on that. And it means just so much. Sorry. I'm okay. Sorry, I got a little bit emotional there. But I felt like that was important to say. And that brings us to the new year, because that does lead us into this. Because with all of that, I'm excited to say that I got accepted into school for animation. And I should be starting in the next couple of months. And I think before all of this, I wouldn't have had the drive or the courage to submit my portfolio and even apply. And that's why this leads into this. That's why the emotional moment leads into that, because I didn't think I could. And then all the encouragement that I've seen and people enjoying my art and enjoying the content I create has really given me the courage to try. And it resulted in me getting accepted. And I should be starting in the next couple of months. And it's a dream come true, honestly. Even just getting an opportunity. But on that same topic, I do want to say I will be doing my best to balance full-time school with full-time work. But I do not plan to stop posting. I actually believe that school may spark more ideas for videos, at least I hope it will. I want to keep posting regularly, but my schedule will adjust back to Saturday posting going forward. I know my video should have gone up way earlier. With Saturday posting, it should have gone up yesterday. It's going up Sunday. Whoops. But, end of the year, things get intense and all of that. But I wanted to say that I'm excited to expand on things, and I hope to eventually, but I hope to eventually try and launch an online store. I'm also on the wait list for a local convention coming up in April. So fingers crossed that I get a chance. I didn't get to do the one convention back in October just because finances did not allow for it. This one is local. I wouldn't have to do any traveling at all, aside from really close to me, very short amount of time. But I'm excited to get this chance. And for now, for 2024, that's all I have planned. But I think things are looking really bright and really good. Sorry, I'm still recovering from being a little bit emotional. And I just want to say thanks to everyone for being with me so far and being here for this. And let's have fun going forward, okay? You all are awesome and amazing, and you have no idea how much the support means. Thank you especially to my Patreon supporters, Inside Chaos and Salmon. You guys are wonderful, and I hope everyone has a wonderful new year, and that 2024 is an amazing year for all of you. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!